Hey guys, it is the day after Father's Day, but I got this thought in my head yesterday. Again, I'm Alan Thomas. For y'all that don't know me, you're tuning in to Transform My Future page where I talk about rethinking dieting for men. A little history on me. In 2017, I weighed in at 304 pounds and really rethought everything about weight loss for me and made a decision to get it off. And I lost 129 pounds in 260 days. And I don't tell you any of this to impress you. I just tell you to impress upon you it's possible. So I work with men now who struggle with obesity. And, I'm always thinking about different ways to get across my message. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, not a dietitian, not a physical fitness expert, but I do know the way through the wilderness of obesity because I've been there. And yesterday with Father's Day, I was thinking about my dad. My dad passed in 2011. He was 82. He died of cancer, brain tumor, very quickly. Had a great life. He was a great dad. And I have this memory of him when I was very young. I think all of us, a lot of you guys can identify this, men and women both. You probably have memories of your fathers. And my dad had this memory. Every year we would go to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And we lived up in Charlotte. Even though my parents really couldn't afford to go, my dad find the money to take us all to an inexpensive motel, back then is what they called them, and spend a week at the beach. And I remember maybe it was 3, 4, 5. I don't even know how old I was, but I was very young. And he had me on his shoulders playing the surf because I couldn't swim. And he was carrying me around on his shoulders. And my older brother Randy, he was on one of those cloth rafts, that has the rope around the side, and he was riding waves. And you don't even see those rafts. I don't know what happened to those, but he was riding waves back and forth, and he's about 5 years older than me, so he was probably 10, 12 years old. I don't even remember, 10 or maybe 8. Math doesn't matter. He was young, but he was older than I was, old enough to be out on a raft. He could swim. And Dad was playing with me in the surf. I was up on his shoulders, and then he saw my brother had fallen asleep on the raft out in the ocean. And I remember my dad, who wasn't a real tall man, going out as far as he could go into the surf, and he was eating waves. Now he's holding on to me because he can't let go of me, because if he lets go of me, I'm going to drown. But he can't. But he's trying to get my brother's attention. And he's yelling and yelling and yelling at the top of his lungs to get him to wake up because he's drifting out. He's just going out into the ocean. And finally, my brother wakes up. He makes it back to shore safely. But it's such a great picture because it really makes you think for dads. What would you do to save one of your kids? And I got to see my dad do that, and that was special. Getting to literally have a seat on his shoulders to see that, and because I knew he'd do it for me, and he'd do it for any of us, and as I would for my 4 kids. But so what the heck does that have to do with dieting? Well, when I was 304 pounds, my daughter, who actually graduated from high school today, she's my young. She was leaving me notes like, encouraging me to lose weight. She would sign them, her name and our family dog, the Tank, who's a dachshund. Actually, he's a Rottweiler in a dachshund's body, so he thinks he's a much bigger dog than he is. But Tank, she would sign it. Hey, go work out, and so she it was on her mind. And we think that our obesity doesn't matter to our families, as dads, but I can tell you it does. We think, I did. I thought, it doesn't really matter. It's all about me. And if I want to have this extra bite of food, it's okay. I'm already 50 pounds overweight. I'm already 75 pounds overweight. But as men, we drift out to sea. Really, you don't go out to sea all at once. It's not like a tsunami came in and just drug my brother out. I mean, he was gradually caught in the undertow, in that raft. He was just lying there on the raft, half asleep, and he was going out slowly in what could have been to his death, really. And my dad would have done anything to get my brother, and I'm sure, I don't know what would have happened if he hadn't woken up, but I know would have done anything, just like any of the fathers that are listening to this would. But I say this to you, your kids need you. They do. I needed my dad. I mean, I'd give anything to have a conversation with my dad again. He died when I was 50. I was thankful to have all those years with him. But I think any of us who were blessed to have a great dad like I did would do anything to have that conversation. And I'm really struck by the fact of how I did this, and so I understand it. How there's my dachshund that thinks he's a Rottweiler. He's in attack mode right now. No, he's actually a very nice dog. But I think about all of the men that ignore it and say, I've got a party today. We've got a birthday party, so I can't start it today. We've got Father's Day today, so I can't. I had men that lost weight this weekend, that are clients of mine. They made a choice. They made a decision that getting healthy and losing weight is the most important thing to them. And it's not about a diet. It's not about a particular exercise plan, but it's really about a decision. How important is your life to you? How important is your life to your family? And do you want to be around? I mean, of course you do. The answer is yeah. But so making that decision to make a shift where you're never going back, is no different than being on that raft, going out to sea like my brother was. I think, if you're listening to this and you've struggled with weight your whole life, and you think that you can't lose weight, didn't mean to hit the tripod. You don't think there's any way you can lose weight. And one of the most common themes of men that apply for my program is, I ask what your obstacle is, and they say, can't stick to something. And I get it. I've been there. I mean, Callie, just eating so much food, and then you're hiding eating food because you don't want people to see you eating food because you're embarrassed and all this, and you feel like you just can't stop. I'm going to say this to you very loud and clear. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. And the only reason I know that is because I was the worst of the worst. I mean, was I the biggest guy on the planet? No, but I promise you, I've been to dinner with my wife, gone to a big dinner, and stopped and gotten, a fast food meal on the way home because I was still hungry. And she said, well, are you still hungry? Yeah, I'm still hungry. And I was maybe 220 then. I was maybe 230 then, 240 then. I wasn't 300 pounds. I'm still hungry. Well, the truth of it is, if you understand how important it is for you to be dad, and you understand how important it is for you to be here, and the things that you have to do, that you are going to get the privilege of doing, then you need to rethink about how you've been thinking about dieting and getting healthy, because what you've been telling yourself is not reality, because what one man or woman can do, another man or woman can do. You can get thinner, you can get healthier. You don't have to live in shame of being morbidly obese. You don't have to live in the shadow of yourself, of just thinking that I can't get control, I can't get control. It is possible. Is it simple? Yeah, it's actually fairly simple. Is it easy? Heck no. It's not easy always. There are challenges. Do you fall off the wagon, so to speak, sometimes? Sure. Is it possible to stick to something 100%? Yes, it is. It actually is. You probably done it in your life and just don't remember it, because you've got so tied up in this mindset that I can't do it. And I get it. If I think in a cliche quote from Henry Ford is, if you think you can, you're absolutely right. But if you think you cannot, you're absolutely right. Well, I'm going to say this to you. I know you can. I know you can stick to something. I know you can make a decision that's better than what you've made. I know that you can rethink how this whole dieting process takes place. Does the world need another diet? $72 billion industry, guys. That's what it is in the U.S. It's probably more than that right now. I don't know. That's the last reported. $72 billion in the United States. That didn't count other countries. Bad diets, good diets, bad diets, all the different things. There's lists. You can get a list of every one of them, and every one of them's got the answer. But if that was really just the answer, do you think that don't you think all of us would have six-pack abs and 32-inch waists as men, and all the ladies would be like in a size 4 or whatever? Of course. So what is it? Maybe it's something different. So what I would say to you is dads, now I know it's the day after Father's Day, but this was something that was on my heart, what would you do to save one of your kids? Would you eat the waves like my dad was eating the waves, with me on his shoulders, caring for me? Would you go to the ends of the earth to save them? I believe you would. How important do you think it is for you to be here for them in the future? Statistically, do you think if you're 100 pounds overweight that you're going to live as long as you will if you lose that weight? I mean, really? I think you know the answer to that. You don't have to be a physician to this common sense. But you're drifting out to sea. You're just drifting. Just like my brother was. You're drifting out. And I'm here, I'm just yelling to you from shore and saying, I know the way out of the water. If you're ready to do something about it, reach out to me. transformmyfuture.com/apply. That's transformmyfuture.com. Double M in the middle, and I'll put it in the notes. But this is day number, whatever today is. I've lost track. We've had so much going on with Father's Day and graduation today, and Father's Day yesterday, graduation day. A lot going on. I think it's day 20. What is the 22nd of June? Day 22 of 90 days in a row. But I want to speak to you from my heart. You can do this. Is it easy? No. Is it possible? 100%. It is. Is it going to happen overnight? No. Can it go quicker than you think? Yeah. I always equate it. It's like we're leaving Egypt on the way to the promised land. Do you want to go the 40-year route or you want to go the 11-day route? Now, I don't think you're not going to lose 100 pounds in 11 days. But if you've got a lot of weight to lose, reach out to me. Let's have an honest conversation and see if I can help you. And everybody's not right for my program. I don't profess to have the answer for everybody, but I do know the way through the wilderness. So I hope this speaks to you. I hope you'll do what's necessary for your children, because they need you. They'll need you when they're 30. They'll need you when they're 40. So if you're a dad, or if you want to be a dad, and just know that they're going to need you. And if you're morbidly obese, they're probably not going to get to have that experience with you. I'd give anything I could to have 5 more minutes with my dad. I got a bunch of questions for him, and good stuff. He was a country. He was a hick. But he was one of the wisest men I've ever met, and I hope this honors him by what I'm saying. But I've seen how he operates, and I'd love to ask him some more questions, because you just miss that. So don't steal that from your kids. Don't steal that from your kids. That's what I would say. I know it's the day after Father's Day, a little late on this one, but I wanted to think about this before I spoke it. So I hope you guys had a great Father's Day. Make it a priority. Reach out to me. Message me. Email me. Alan@transformmyfuture.com. transformmyfuture.com/apply if you want to book some time with me, and we'll have an honest conversation and help you find your way out of the wilderness. So you guys have a great night, and God bless.